Hi and welcome back to Black Cats Pilates. I'm Sarah. Thanks for joining me today for this 20-minute beginner-friendly class. It's a full body workout, no equipment needed. So whenever you're ready, let's begin. Okay, let's start seated for this one, ideally with the legs crossed. We're just going to find a neutral posture before we begin, so our neutral alignment. You just relax your hands on your knees. Make sure you're sitting on your sit bones. So they're the bony parts just underneath your buttocks, underneath each of your glutes. Now we're going to sit up nice and tall. Just think about relaxing your shoulders and lifting the breastbone very gently up so your shoulder blades fall flush with your back. Just relax your arms. Chin level with the floor, crown of the head facing the ceiling. Now really lengthen through the spine. Now if you struggle to sit tall in a position like this, you might just need to sit on a Pilates block or a cushion to lift the pelvis. It'll make you feel a bit more comfy around the hips and allow you to sit a little bit taller. Otherwise, let's just have a look at our breathing. Okay, so we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's start to do that now. And remember, when you breathe in, it's like you're smelling a flower. And as you breathe out, it's like you're blowing out a candle. So nice deep breath. But stay seated tall with the shoulders relaxed and back and down and in neutral. Now on your next exhale, let's draw the navel gently in and hold it there. So we've got that core engagement and we keep breathing just as you were before, but now the rib cage is acting a little bit like a balloon. So it's going to inflate out to the sides and back in. So in other words, we're breathing laterally instead of down and a little bit higher up. But do make sure you keep your shoulders relaxed and back and down. And then we're going to start to warm ourselves up. All right, starting with head turns. Just keep your chin level with the floor. And as you breathe out next, you're going to gently turn to the left and then to the right. Nice and smooth movement. Exhale on the turn. Inhale as you pass through center. Try not to rush. You don't want to go dizzy. And really think about maintaining your neutral posture. We're sitting on the sit bones. Last ones. And then we're going to face forward right here. Perfect. Okay, place your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers and bring your elbows in so you can see them in your peripheral vision. Remember, we're sitting tall, we're always trying to find a neutral position, and then we're going to turn again, but this time rib cage. So this is thoracic twists. We turn very gently from side to side, keeping the nose and chin in line with the breastbone. The pelvis is nice and still. Exhale, turn. Inhale as you gently pause at the center. All right, last couple. And then you can face forward and relax. Give the shoulders a gentle roll. Again, get rid of any tension around the neck and shoulder region. And if you can place your hands on your knees, we're then going to just start to circle the body. So sit tall, breathe in, and you're going to hinge forward gently at the hips. Circle round to the right. Exhale as you go around the back. Over to the left and inhale forward. Keep going in that same direction. Keeping the navel drawn in. And we exhale here so that you can gently flex the lower back. So when you come around the front, you're lifting the breastbone up. As you go around the back, you gently lower the rib cage down. Now we're going to change direction. So go the other way when you're ready. Feel that around the hips. Keep the core engaged and of course keep the pelvis still so you're not rocking around on your sit bones. Last time. Then we're going to come back to neutral and then you can come out of this position, pop your feet on the floor. Now let's turn to face one end of the mat. And if you've got your block or your cushion, you might still need it here. But otherwise, we're going to lengthen out the legs in front of us. Try and sit tall again and then widen out your feet. Go as wide as you can and try and find neutral. So you can shuffle your bottom backwards if you like as well. It sounds a bit of a strange thing to say, but it does help you to sit up a bit taller. You want your shoulders above the hips. And now we're going to flex the ankles. Now if you can take the back of your left hand and place it on the inside of your left knee. And then the right hand is behind your head. You're bringing your elbow back into your peripheral vision. We're going to do some side bends. Now on your next exhale, let's draw the navel in. press your hand gently into the knee and slide the fingers towards the heel. So we side bend gently over. And we're coming back. We're going to stay on that same side. So exhale to press and slide. Inhale to come back, feeling a very gentle stretch around the right side of the body and into the hip. We're just going to go for a couple more. Nice smooth movement, lots of control. Last one. And then we're going to come back to neutral and swap sides. Okay, so placing the back of the right hand on the inside of the knee, left hand behind the head, elbow in the peripheral vision. Just remember to keep your ankles flexed, sit nice and tall, and then when you're ready, breathing in, we then exhale, press and slide towards the ankle and come back up. Just go over as far as you are comfortable. Don't force it, always listen to your body. Keep your pelvis still, so both sets of sit bones are on the floor. You're not lifting one as you lean over. All right, last one. And then we're going to come back to the middle, place the feet down and give those hips a rest. Now, if you just shuffle forward towards the end of your mat a little bit more, stay on your sit bones and then take hold of the back of your knees. So knees and feet should be hip width apart. Let's lift the breastbone, shoulders back and down. We're going to roll back into supine, so do make sure you've got some space behind you to be able to do that safely. And then we're going to breathe in through the nose. On that exhale, draw the navel in and jump off your sit bones. Start to lower the rib cage down and lean back with the shoulders. Let go of the knees and roll all the way back to supine. Big full body stretch. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. You can flex your ankles and stretch out the calf muscles as well. And now place your arms down by your sides, palms facing down. Let's pop our feet back on the floor again. So knees and feet hip width apart, relax the hips, relax the shoulders. Now we're going to do a few pelvic tilts, so just to warm up the lower back a little bit more before we keep going. So all this is very gently tipping the pelvis backwards and forwards. So the bony part at the back of your pelvis, that's your sacrum, we're just massaging that area. So when you tip your pelvis forward, you'll create a little gap between the lower back and the floor. And then as you tip backwards, the gap closes. So we're keeping the navel drawn in at all times. So we've got that core engagement. But we exhale as we tip backwards and close the gap. We're going to turn this into the shoulder bridge next. So when you tuck your tailbone under, very gently roll up through the spine towards the shoulders and then breathe in to come back down. Remember to tip your pelvis gently forward at the end of that movement. All right, and when you come up, make sure you keep your tailbone tucked under, relax the rib cage. You can use your arms to help you here as well. So pressing the palms very gently down toward the floor and also the back of your upper arms as well. Last couple. And then last one. Okay, so we've mobilized all the facet joints of the spine. And then we can give our knees a little hug. Just draw them in. Give them a circle around and massage the back of the pelvis. And then we'll pop the feet back down on the floor. So again, knees and feet hip width apart. So that's your knees in line with the hips, heels in line with the sit bones. And then arms by your sides, palms facing down again. Now we're going to start to do some work with our abdominal muscles, so strengthening the core. Let's take a breath in through the nose. As we exhale through the mouth, draw the navel in, and then you're going to lift the back of the head and the shoulders and reach your arms forward. So they're floating by your sides, palms facing down, shoulders back and down. Let's make sure we've got a good posture here. So you're looking between the knees and not at the ceiling. If you're looking up here, it's going to put pressure on your neck. So lift the breastbone enough that you can look forward. Now start to pulse your arms or beat the arms. Pulse, 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 keeping the head and shoulders still. You're going to breathe in for 5 counts and then out for 5 counts, and that's 10 beats. Now this exercise is called the 100 because you do that 10 times, but we're not really going to keep count today. I just want you to get your technique right and just start to really fire up the abdominals, and we're getting that connection of breath to movement. You do want to make it a little bit more challenging. You can bring your legs into tabletop, so knees above the hips and shins level with the floor. But I'm going to now count us down. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place the feet down, relax the head and your arms, and now just breathe normally and breathe deeply. Give those abdominal muscles a little bit of a rest. We're going to stay supine a little bit longer. So if you can just tuck your tailbone under gently and place your hands underneath your bottom and relax back down. So you're relaxing on the back of your hands. On your next out breath, draw the navel in. So that's your core already engaged. Now if you can bring your left knee in towards you, point your toes and lengthen out the right leg and point the toes as well. Just keep the navel in because we need to keep the pelvis really still for this one, and that's going to help you get pelvic stability from core strength. Now we're going to start to raise the right leg up and then down. So pointing the toes as we raise the leg, flex the ankle to come down. Nice smooth movement. We're working the hip flexors, so you'll start to feel this around the top of the thigh towards the pelvis. We're going to bring the left leg in as well, so a little bit of coordination. Now when you take your right leg up, take the left toes down. When you bring the heel down, lift the toes, okay? So it's kind of opposite directions. It might take a little bit of getting used to. All right, nice and steady. Exhale to raise the leg. Inhale to come down. Let's go for another 3 and 2. Last one. Fantastic, okay? If you just want to pop your feet down, you can take your hands from underneath you and give them a little shake out. All right, let's give that right knee a squeeze as well. Just give the hip a bit of TLC, and we're going to do it all on the other side. So place the feet down first, arms by your sides, and then gently lift the tailbone enough that you can place your hands underneath you and relax back down. And then we're bringing the right knee in, point the toes. Let's lengthen out the left leg. Remember, draw the navel in, hold it there. We start by raising and lowering the left leg, pointing the toes on the way up, flexing the ankle to come down. Try not to rush. Really feel those lower abdominal muscles squeezing as you lower the leg down. And then we're going to start to bring in the right foot. Okay, so if you remember, as the leg comes up, as your left leg comes up, the right toes go down, vice versa. It does take some concentration, a little bit of control, and some coordination. Nice and steady. It is quite a challenging one, this one. Just raise the leg as high as you can. Let's go 3 and 2. Then the last one. Fab. And you can just place the feet back down. Take your hands from underneath you and then give your knee a squeeze as well. Place the feet back down. We can have a nice full body stretch from here. So lengthen out those arms and legs, wiggle the fingers and the toes. Breathe. Lovely. You can keep your arms where they are, but then draw the navel in and press the lower back very gently towards the floor. So that's imprinting the spine. And you can feel how it's tightened your abdominal muscles. Just place your feet on the floor and then bring the legs into tabletop. Don't let your pelvis tip forward. Use the imprinting technique. We're going to come to seated using the assisted roll up. So breathe in and reach your arms up. Exhale, lift the back of the head and the shoulders. Take hold of the back of the thighs and rock up to seated. And then we're going to come to a kneeling position around the center of the mat. So knees underneath the hips. Oh, and this is an upright kneeling position as well. Okay, so we're not sitting on the heels, but do relax your feet, relax your toes, and let's find neutral before we begin. So relaxing the arms, shoulders back and down. Let's draw the navel in. You're going to keep your tailbone tucked under for this one as well. So we're going to work the quadriceps and the glutes. This is lean backs even. You're going to basically hinge at the knee and reach your arms forward. So we're really using the strength of the thighs to control the movement. Okay, good. Let's polish this up as we go. So really leaning into the shins. Try not to drop your bottom towards the heels. And make sure that when you lean back, you're keeping the breastbone facing forward, so you're not tilting it up towards the ceiling. If you do, sometimes you can tweak your back, which we don't want to do. We want to let the legs do the work as we're leaning back. Brilliant. Let's just go for 3 more if we can. But remember, if you've had enough, it's completely fine. 2. Then last one. And then we're going to relax it there. In fact, you can sit back on your heels now. Just give the thighs a bit of a rest and take some nice deep breaths in and out. So we're going to come into an all fours position next anyway, around the center of the mat. So when you're ready, just pop your hands on the floor, hands underneath the shoulders and knees beneath the hips. Take the shoulders back and down. Make sure your head is aligned with your spine so you're looking directly at the floor below, and we're drawing the navel up. We've got our core engaged. Right, a little bit more balance and coordination. You're going to take the left leg and extend it behind you. So keep the leg in line with the hip, point the toes, and try not to tip over to your right. All right, so you're just keeping the chest and the pelvis square with the mat. Now let's start to just raise and lower the leg. So when you raise the leg, you can lift it as high as you like, but keep the tummy button lifted. All right, so that's your core engaged, and it's going to stop you from tilting the pelvis forward and tweaking your lower back. You want to be feeling this around the back of the leg and into the glutes. Now we're going to bring in our right arm here. So let's just reach that forward. And as we take the leg up, we're going to bring your arm around the side towards the hip. Nice sweeping movements, lots of precision, balance, and control. Last 3. 2. And then last one. Perfect. We'll come down, back onto the hands and knees. Now we're going to have a little stretch here while we're in all fours. So if you take your left arm and reach it up. Think thread the needle if you've ever done that exercise. We're now going to take this arm and sweep it round underneath the right shoulder. Stretch out in front of you. Take the left shoulder down onto the floor. You can relax your head. Now you're going to take your right arm, place it behind your back and wrap it around your waist. Really funny little stretch, but very nice one. You'll feel it in various places. Now let's place the hand down and come back into all fours. We're ready to do the other side of that original exercise, those leg raises. Okay, so let's extend the right leg back, point the toes, make sure we don't tip to the left, and we keep our chest and pelvis square with the mat. All right, when you're ready, let's start to raise and lower the right leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep your head in line with your spine. And of course, the tummy button drawn up. Nice squeeze around the back of the leg. Now we're going to start to reach forward with the left arm. Okay, and then as you raise the leg, just sweeping your arm around the side towards your hip. So really balancing between that remaining arm and leg. Remember not to lock your elbow out. Let's go for 3 more. And 2. Last one. Fantastic. Let's come back onto the hands and knees. Then we're going to do that lovely little stretch. So keep your spine straight. Let's reach up with the right arm. All right, and then we come through. Thread it underneath the left shoulder. Stretch it out as you lower the right shoulder down. And then we reach up and back with your left arm. Wrap it around the waist. And then 3, 2, 1. Hands back down. And we'll sit back in shell, okay? So sit back on your heels. Reach forward with your arms and relax your head down. And now we're going to come to a seated position around the center of the mat. Try and stretch out the hips and the glutes a little bit. Okay, so if you extend the legs out in front of you, pop your hands down on the floor, so slightly behind the hips. And then you're just going to take your left foot and place it over the right knee. Slide the right heel towards you, so you're bending the knee, and you'll feel a stretch already around the left hip and into the glutes. If we add our Pilates principles, so press into the floor, lengthen the spine by lifting the breastbone, it does increase the stretch around the hip. All right, now we're going to lengthen out the legs and swap sides. So right foot or right ankle over the left knee, bring the left heel in, press gently into the floor, and lengthen through the spine to really feel that lovely stretch around the right hip and the glutes. Okay, Let's bring the feet down. And then if you come into a kneeling position at the middle of your mat, let's have a nice deep breath to end the session. So breathe in and reach up. And again, nice big deep breath. And last one. Wonderful. Well done. Really well done if you made it to the end of the session. It was quite a challenging one. So just because something is beginner level doesn't mean you're not going to get a good workout and be challenged. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to give the video a thumbs up, give it a like, and check that you are subscribed to the channel as well so that you'll always be notified whenever I upload a new workout. I hope to see you in the next one, but for now, let's just remember, at Black Cats Pilates, we practice quiet power and playful grace.